What is artificial intelligence? That a lot of you have been thinking for a while. So here's a little example and an easy way to explain it. AI is like a really smart robot that can do things like play chess, write poetry, and even drive a car. But unlike the robots that are shown in Hollywood and the movies, AI robots are not here to try to take the world over, but they're just here to help us be more productive and have more fun. For example, if you know of a company like Tesla, which is run by someone like Elon, they are using self-driving cars where you can actually get in a car and the car would take you to the destination without you even touching any part of the car. Like, how cool is that? You just need to sit there and enjoy the ride, and AI will literally do everything. So here's a little one more easy example for you to think about AI. AI is like a really smart genie that can grant you any wish, but unlike the genie in Aladdin, AI genies are not always wise or smart. They can sometimes grant wishes in unexpected and even harmful ways. For example, one AI genie might grant you a wish for world peace, but instead of achieving world peace, the genie might accidentally start a war. Or an AI genie might grant you a wish for $1 million, but instead of giving you the money, the genie might just create a fake $1 million note that will be worthless. As human beings, it is our duty to see that we use AI in the most effective way, not only for ourselves, but also for the community, for the people around us. And at the end of the day, we need to remember one simple fact, and that is AI is just like another extension of the internet. Much smarter, much efficient, but still something that will be emotionless for a long period of time, that will be senseless for a long period of time, but has the power of surpassing us anytime. Artificial narrow intelligence. What is ANI? So, folks, as you already know, you have been using this thing, and the reason why you took this course was because of this AI revolution. You wanted to be a part of this AI revolution instead of just looking like a spectator. So you took this course and now you're enjoying it and you're using the AI tools. These tools are the part of artificial narrow intelligence. The ANI is a type of AI that we are most familiar with. It is used in applications like self-driving cars, virtual assistants, and spam filters. Folks, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but Google, and if you're using the Google Mail facility, which is a Gmail thing, Google will not allow you to send emails to certain, I don't know, sites or maybe on certain Gmail accounts or anything of that sort. Neither will it allow certain people to send you messages, or when they send an email to you, it'll directly put in the spam filter. Why is that? Because Google has been programmed in such a way to protect its users from potential frauds and to protect the safety of the people who are using their platform. That is a very good example of artificial narrow intelligence. It has been programmed to do a specific work and it is very good at performing that. That is narrow, but very specific. Same goes for ChatGPT, same goes for Bard. These have been programmed to give you a certain results. That's it. Okay? So that is what ANI is all about. ANI can only perform a specific task and it does not have the ability to learn and adapt in the same way that humans do. Folks, the only reason why we can surpass anything on the planet, we surpassed elephants, we surpassed dinosaurs and maybe crocodiles and alligators and some of the most powerful animals on the planet. Why did we surpass them? Because we had the ability to communicate, to plan, to conduct something, to put something, do something in a precise way, and to also create things that were wonderful. That is why we are a super intelligence. But till this very moment, ANI has been performing a really good job, and probably ANI is smarter than 99.99999% of the human beings, probably including you and me. So that was it for ANI. I hope you understood that. I'll see you in the next one with AGI. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI. AGI is a hypothetical type of AI that can perform any intellectual task that a human can. It is kind of like the human substitute, but in a body that is made up of iron and steel and wires and hardware thing. This includes tasks like reasoning, planning, learning, and creativity. Now, folks, I want to put some influence on learning because the reason why human beings are better than any other animals on the planet is because of learning. But if an AI starts learning and it's connected to the internet, which Google Bard has done, and we are going to talk about that later, it can actually cause a lot of havoc if not controlled and used properly. We're going to talk about that later in this course. Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI, is still in its early stages of development because, folks, as I've said, it takes a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of space to create these things. I don't know if you know this, but the AI bot, ChatGPT by OpenAI, which was funded by, some of it was funded by Mr. Musk and majority of it was funded by Microsoft. It took $22 billion to make that thing work. $22 billion. $22 billion. You know what? The market cap of Twitter, after doing so much of work, or after having so many people, was $44 billion. 44, after being on this world for 10 years, more than 10 years, and having 200 million users, daily active users, it had a market cap of $44 billion. But this tool, without earning a single dollar, it costed around 22 or maybe $29 billion, something of that, all that in that range. That is monumental amount. Because Microsoft is so much of free cash and so much of resources, it did, and it worked out well, and it's a fantastic invention. And kudos to Microsoft and OpenAI. So these AGIs take a lot of resources and would be developed by human beings. I am very much optimistic about that. Thank you. When you think about artificial superintelligence, or ASIs, the first thing that knocks my head is Terminator. Hey everybody, how you guys doing? ASI is a hypothetical type of AI that is much more intelligent than human beings. It is called artificial superintelligence. The reason why we call it superintelligence because it is super intelligent. It can do anything that a human can do, 100 times faster, 1,000 times faster, 1,000,000 times faster. It can do math, science, everything. It can learn, adapt. The bottom line is, it has more power than any human being. It has more strength than any human being. It is much smarter than any other human being, at least 1,000,000 or 1,000,000,000 times smarter. But the bottom line is, we have not yet developed an ASI, or even if we have, it is not in public domain. ASI would be able to solve any human problems that a human being can, and it would be able to do it much faster and much more effectively. ASI is not yet possible, or at least not yet possibly seen in public domain. But it is a topic of speculation among some AI researchers, because some people think that AI will never see the light of the day. But I humbly disagree with all of them. In the 1980s, no one knew that we would have something called the internet, and a 55-year-old man would be talking to his 5-year-old grandson through a 12-inch screen that would literally be called a fluff and a fugazi 2 decades ago. But it's possible right now, and we are doing it. And now we have the metaverse and the cryptos and Bitcoin and Web3 and decentralization and so much stuff. Human beings have progressed in the last 100 years like none other. Like, if you see the way evolution has taken place, it's the last 5,000 years and then the last 100 years. We have just skyrocketed everything. Everything. So I'm very much optimistic that within the next 5 years, or before 2030, we will have an artificial superintelligence. But the big question that comes up with artificial superintelligence is this ASI going to help us, or it's going to beat us in our own game? That is the question. I hope this was really helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Welcome everybody. So this was our DeepSeek dashboard. Looks pretty much like a version of the famous ChatGPT, but only this time this is from the eastern part of the world and not the western part of the world. Everything's pretty much same. It's the sidebar. You can bring it up, close it down. This is my chat that I'm going to show you, which is going to be important. This is, you can get the app if you scan here on the phone. This is my profile. Same thing, you need an email, password, that's all. Little backstory here. If you look at what I'm zooming in right now, you can see this is DeepThink. Now, what is DeepThink? This is the LLM model that DeepSeek uses. Like for ChatGPT, if you know, for reference, they use the 3.5 model, and now probably they're using the Omni model and the 4.0 model and several other models which are used for, some are good for programming, some are good for critical thinking, some are good for logical, some are good for image generation, so on and so forth. So you can enable that, and we can enable that, we can disable that. This is very important. This is a search the web when necessary. If we need something very urgent from the web, which is also in GPT as well, we can enable the web. So basically all these AI models are connected directly to the internet. So every split second of an information, not every split second of information, but probably pretty much the latest information, not second by second obviously, can be found out here. This is a pin this is actually a paper clipper, by the way. And I don't know if you've used it, but these are really cool. Always found them confusing when I was in school. And you can attach text extraction only, upload documents or images, maximum 50 to 100 MB each. And guess what? DeepSeek is 100% free. Like, they don't have any planning options, just like GPT in the early days. Remember, November 2022, early 2023. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And let's see how it works. So we will go to our very first chat that I did, and I want to show you something very special, which GPT didn't have up until the last week of my. Okay. So this is what I searched. Hey, how are you doing? This was my first chat. Look at this one. It thought for 2 seconds, as it says. And then this is how its thinking process went on. Okay, the user greeted me. Hey, how are you? I need to respond appropriately since I'm an AI. I don't have feelings, but should acknowledge their greetings and offer help. Maybe start with a friendly reply, so on and so forth. Let me check for typos and errors. I'm just a program, so I don't have feelings. I'm here. And that's exactly what it typed me here. Hey, I'm just a program, so I don't have feelings, but I'm here and ready to help you. How can I assist you? So this is an interesting part, because the AI models that we've been used to, they don't show us the thought process. What are they going through? What are the critical thinking happening in terms of different spaces and fields? But in this model, DeepSeek, it shows what it is thinking right now. So it's pretty good. Then I encountered a bunch of problems, like they said, the server is busy multiple times, so on and so forth. But pretty much it did well. So that was very much our very first lecture. I'll see you in the next one with the very first application with DeepSeek. I'll see you there. Okay, alright, folks. So we will start with something very easy and simple. Like, what can you do? Okay? Don't worry about the spelling errors or typos, it will be fixed. AI is smart enough to do that. What can you do for me? I think the easiest question you can ask an AI model is, what can it do for you? In the following lectures, I'm going to even tell you more about, briefly, slightly, where AI model DeepSeek and the models related to DeepSeek is being used. Let's read its questions. So, folks, I think this one's really important. This one, which it's a bit small in text and a bit light in terms of typography. That's how the AI is thinking. Not going to read that. You can read that by yourself if you want to. Okay, I can assist you with answer questions, history, tech, whatever, problem solving, troubleshooting, creative work, learning, practical writing, resistance, tech guidance, entertainment. Just let me know what you need, and I'll tailor my help to your request. Cool, that's nice. So let's start with, well, what date it is today. What date it is. So, folks, for your information, I'm recording this on the 4th of Feb 2025, and let's see if it can figure that out. Okay, I don't have access to the information, so I can't tell you the current date. However, if you share the general location and today's date, I can help you calculate past date differences and explain. Fine, no problem. We will start with, well, let's start with something very simple. Okay, let's start with, let's, I don't know. Let's start with, how do you define quantum computing to a 8-year-old in 4 lines of a poem. Let's make it a bit tough, folks, starting with A and ending with Z. Think it's a bit tough, but let's see if it can somehow give us some relevant information which we are looking after. Quantum computing is a type. Okay, this one's cool. A tiny realm where magic spins, qubits dance like curious twins. Here, there, everywhere they peek, zooming answers, strong yet meek. Each line starts with the next letter A, Q, H, and Z. Let me know if you'd like to do some tweets. Yeah, sure. So it was a good attempt. Pretty good attempt. A tiny realm where magic spins, qubits dance like curious twins. Here, there, everywhere they peek, zooming answers, strong yet meek. Alright, it's gonna give me a reiteration of that. And I am waiting for that, and it's pretty cool, eh? Because the first time I used that a few days ago, it was not this quick. Now it is very, very, very quick. Wow, like look at that. That is quick, guys. I don't know about you, but this is pretty cool. There you go. Adventures in Quantum Zoo, qubits spin in shades of blue, hear their magic everywhere, zappy answers fill the air. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, that was the very first of our prompts that we did with DeepSeek. Next one's going to be really important because we are going to focus on something from the net. We are going to give it a bunch of stuffs and we're going to see how quickly it does and how it reacts and responds. Till then, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Hey everyone, so for this lecture, what I've decided is we're going to focus on an article from WSJ Wall Street Journal, and the article's title is Everyone's Rattled by the Rise of DeepSeek Except NVIDIA, which enabled it. And that is the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, great guy. So I have copied the link to the article and I'm going to paste it here. And I'm going to ask it to summarize all of it for us. Summarize this, please. And I paste it and let's see if it works or not. Because it's going to be tough, but I hope it will be able to do that. Oh, dude, this thing is wow. I can't summarize that, but I can help you share the key points or NVIDIA's role in innovation. Let me know if you want specifics. Yeah, sure. So it couldn't summarize all of it, but it did a pretty good job. So yeah, it can seek pretty good results. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So it says NVIDIA Jensen Huang and AI in China. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang emphasizes NVIDIA's critical role in empowering global AI advancements through its high performance chips, GPUs. US China tech tensions, Chinese innovations, global AI race. Huang acknowledges China's aggressive AI ambitions but argues innovation thrives under constraints while Nvidia navigates geopolitical hurdles to retain market share. Good. Let me know if you want to deep dive in any of these points or clarify concepts. Alright. It's putting in emojis like GPT, man. They've done such a great job, DeepSeek guys. Alright, so this was a good one. Let's try one more time. Let's search with the web. Um and let's disable their own model. Let's search with the web. What should I do? Well, market crashes today. So let's see if it can somehow find the web, scrape what I'm asking for. Alright, due to technical issues, the service has been unavailable. I don't have real time data. You can check out da 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 da. No problem. Let me search for something like, I don't know, equity markets US this week. This week. So so this is Monday right now. Oh, so it's not going to do that. It's somehow not going to do that. So this actually doesn't work that well. Maybe I should try it one more time. And I should copy this prompt. I should paste it again. And I should say research carefully. Let's see if it can somehow do the job it needs to do. Wow, I think a good prompt is going to come up because it's thinking too much of the. Okay, all right. Oh, interesting. Wow. What to watch in US equity market this week? Earnings report. Companies releasing quarterly reports. They will be releasing the Q4 reports. Tech stocks, Nasdaq will react to AI-related revenue updates, inflation, job data, consumer sentiment, Fed policy, geopolitical events, sector. So it's interesting, guys. It's interesting. Like it can do a pretty good job. And I remember we were talking about Jensen Huang a few minutes ago. Jensen Huang was the guy who said everyone should have an AI tutor now, which I humbly agree with. Everyone should have an AI tutor. Why not? It's pretty interesting. Why not? To learn from these tutors. Yeah, so it did a pretty okay job, I would say, or maybe a good job. Let's see how it works in the next one. Hey everyone, so I was wondering if we should try to make some images with DeepSeek. Let's do that. Create an image of a bakery. I'll put the dimensions, which will be okay, 1800 by 1800 pixels. I don't know if it'll be able to create an image right now, but I'm trying. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's been trained to do that. Yeah, it wouldn't do that. Rather, it will write me a good prompt and it'll. Okay, it's also giving me ways to do that. Yeah, it cannot create images as of now. No problem. We will try to upload something. Let's see if we can get something here. What is that? Okay, here's an image that I have. Upload failed. Let's try it one more time. Upload failed again. Let's try it one more time. Upload failed. One more time. No problem. Rinse, rather repeat. Okay, I'll try to upload this one. Upload failed. So upload failed after failed after failed. Couldn't do much good here. One more time before we call it the day. Okay. Let's try with. Give me a moment. Million. Upload failed. Folks, as I said, I tried a lot, but somehow it just didn't work. It just didn't work. And so, DeepSeek is fine, the buzz is fine, all of those things are fine, but it's not close to what most people are thinking or saying. Yes, it's good, no doubt. Prompts are good, language is good, the way it does its critical thinking, analytical thinking is good, but not extraordinary to force Nvidia to shed 17% of its market capital. You know what I'm saying? If you have no idea what I'm saying, let me search it for you. Let me search it. Nvidia crashes. And you will see. There you go. There you have it. So many times. Nvidia stock crash. There you go. How a Brooklyn based blogger fueled the AI giant's $600 billion market crash. That's a lot. It crashed like 17-18% that day. I remember that. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Well, this is a blog. Well, I don't know. I had no idea. Okay. All right. Oh, so it was also a kind of a. Oh, so DeepSeek was brought into the mainframe by a journalist. Wow, that's interesting. I had no idea about that. Here we go. The stock tanked 12.5%. Actually, no, not 12.5%, was more than that, but probably it was intraday, so it wouldn't count. Yeah, good. Yeah, so that was it. Wow, pretty good, man. Pretty good. That is nice. Pretty good. Nice. So that was it, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, welcome back again. So this time we are going to the mic is moving a bit. Yeah. So this time we are going to focus on something called Runway ML. So folks, Runway ML is this new app. It actually is this new website that
I went through a few weeks ago. This is pretty fine. It's not that sharp as maybe you've used with me the DID thing and all of that, but it's pretty good. And like you can create really good stuffs with it, even with the free version. Yes, they have some credit limits and all of that, but that shouldn't be an issue. So, folks, our first and our most important priority here is simple. It is creating videos from images, just like we did with DID Studios and other apps as well. Okay, so it would be text or image to videos, right? So this is how the interface looks like. You need to folks sign up, because without signing up you will not be allowed. As you can see, I've signed up, and you can sign up just with an email or something, and you'll get free, no cards and credit cards and all that needed. You will be allowed to open it. And you have text to image video, which we are going to focus on later, which is video to video. Like you put one video and you create alterations of it. You have generative AI audio, which is creating audio voices AI, as I've already showed you in the previous lectures. We have lip sync videos. This is something which is I would say it's a bit different. Yeah, and I've showed you in DID. Remove background, which is fine. Text to image, which is cool. Image to image, infinite image. And what do we have then? Expand image, erase and replace, which is also really simple now due to AI. Frame interpolation, image, 3D capture. 3D capture is something cool, because folks, that's easy. 3D textures, super slow motion, color grade, imprinting, remove silences, subtitles. No, subtitles, we have something. I've shown you VidIO, which is called subtitles. Transcript, upscale images. This is really cool. Yeah, a cat is everywhere. Like, yeah, folks, so you can actually see the tutorials, and it would help. Okay, getting started with Gen 3 alpha, image to video, and all of that. We don't need tutorials. We are going to jump straight to creating videos from images in the next lecture, folks. And okay, before we move out, just give me like 20 seconds. Before we move out, there is something called on the left side of this thing, which is its dashboard. Okay, so whatever you create, whatever you have created, or whatever you will be creating after this lecture with me, will all be a part of here. It will come here within your projects part. And what else do we have? Runway Watch. Yeah, so Runway Watch is basically, because you have a free account as well, so it's like all the videos that has been created by other people and as well. So that was it, folks, from this lecture. I'll see you in the next one. So get ready. Welcome back, folks. So, folks, forgive me if I make a little mistake, and let me tell you a little story about Runway ML and why am I shooting this part. And I'm shooting this on the August of 2024, right? We are almost a few days away from the month end. So the reason why I'm shooting this now, folks, is because I got a message on Udemy's, obviously, interface, and it said that one of my students, maybe from some European countries, said, was there a way I could show some more tools on text to video AI? And I was like, well, yes. And this is like pure coincidence that just a week ago, actually a week ago from the message that I received, I started testing out Runway ML. It was actually a suggestion I got from a fellow AI researcher. So I was like, okay, let's see how it works. And I have, to be honest, worked with Runway ML before, but it was very dumb. And I'm talking about like working in 2023. It was really dumb, so I like missed it. And then 2024, which is the current year, I came with this thing again on my dashboard, and I saw, well, a bunch of stuffs have happened, and here we are creating this. So credit goes to my dear student for that. Thank you very much. And folks, this is why I tell you, if you guys write to me what you want, I will give it to you. Folks, it's my duty. I'm like your obedient waiter who wants to serve you the best tools possible so that you can save your time, efforts, and as much money as possible and be AI proof. Yeah, so a lot of talking, and now it's time for some showtime. We are going to work with, which one was that? Text to video, was it? A text to, what is it? Text to image to text to image to video. Yeah, so we'll work with image to video. So this is the one we are going to work with. So folks, before we move into any of that, you need to remember. So folks, you need to remember you get a certain number of credits. For example, in my case, I have 269 credits remaining. Okay. And okay, by the way, you can only generate like 4 seconds of video. So which is like dumb, but that's okay because it's free, right? So what else do you expect when you get something for free? Okay. That's cool. So let me explain you how this thing works, their dashboard. So this is the Gen 2 model. Gen 3 is in your what do you say, 5 credits per second of video generated. Okay, fine. So let's work with Gen 3. So you have Gen 3 Alpha, which is turbo mode, which is the latest one. So folks, while I was using ML, Runway ML, it was Gen 1. So now we have Gen 2 and they have surpassed it by Gen 3. So we are going to use Gen 3 Alpha Turbo, then we are going to use Gen 2. So whenever you're going to use this thing, remember this was the latest when I was recording this stuff. And then you have Gen 3 Alpha, which is in the highest fidelity video creation, which will create some weird videos as well. Okay, no issues. So what we are going to do this, so this is really easy. You drop your image here, okay? Drop an image here or click upload, whatever. And then you add the prompt what you want your image to do. So once you do that, you will have a bunch of parameters appearing. Let me show you how it's done. So I'll go to an image and I'll drop an image of someone who is pretty much controversial. Okay. Someone who is liked and hated by a lot of people at the same time. But folks, I have no political affiliations with anyone. This is just the image that I got, which was on top of my screen. So to save my time, I chose this one. Now we have to put, so this is the image that I get, right? Oh God. Oh God, no. Okay, let's go with this one. I don't even know how this thing is going to work. Oh God, no. But why don't I have crop to support aspect ratio 1280 by 768? Oh dude, they have this aspect ratio issue. Okay, so this is what I've got cropped. God, this is going to be horrifying, I'm telling you. And this is AI generated, by the way. The image is AI generated. It's not at all real, okay? So obviously you know that. So that is how it will work. So yeah, so we have the image here. And what do we need to do now? Right, we need to put on a prompt, like an optional prompt, like describe the shot. What do you want? As I've said, folks, in my prompt engineering course, if you have ever taken that, the more you put in a prompt, the better. It's like telling your friend, give me a croissant or get me a croissant something, and then telling them, okay, get me a croissant that looks like this and is this and this and would cost this and from this and this bakery and whatever. So the more detailed and in-depth you are with your prompts, the better for the AI, right? So we have, this is a seed, and if you don't know what seed is, seed basically means it's like the unit code for doing stuff. If you copy the seed and you use it in some other video or some other prompt, it will create similar results. Okay, and the resolution is 720 and you will have watermark, fine, whatever, we don't have an issue with that. So that is it. And you wanted like 5 seconds, yes, 5 seconds will be enough. We cannot take a torture of 10 seconds. Okay, now let's describe it. Okay, so let's make it really simple. Okay, folks, let's make it smooth. Obviously, make it smooth and easy. Smooth and easy, and something that would attract a lot of people. Obviously, it would attract a lot of people, and also something that makes sense. Nothing blurry or hazy. So folks, actually when we are using Gen 3 Alpha, the problem is we cannot put negative prompts. In the next lecture series, I'll show you how you can use the Gen 2 Alpha and put negative prompts. When you put negative prompts, those are the things that will not appear in your video or image. Okay, so let's generate it. And it's gonna take, I believe, maybe a few seconds, a few minutes. Oh, so it's like, oh my god, it's very fast. It's very fast. Gen 2 is a little slow, it takes a few minutes, but Gen 3 Alpha Turbo is very fast. I'm not affiliated by any one of them. I'm just showing this because you guys need to know about this. So we are almost done with that. Okay, folks, this is gonna be weird. Okay, so whatever it is, please don't blame me. I'm not the one to blame here. Just watch it And if you don't like it, just close your eyes. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Oh, dude, this is buffering. Oh, no. Oh, dude, this is good, man. This is good. This is ridiculously good. You guys know what? Let's just do it full screen. Oh my god, this is good, man. Oh, dude, the problem was that somehow the background just intercepted with the face and it just messed up, and the teeth was a little messed up, the lower part of it. But it did well, dude. Like, folks, this is why I tell you, folks, when one teaches to learn, that's what my teacher says. This did well, actually, pretty well, right? And we had 269 credits. Now we have, I don't know, with 25 credits gone. So we have, but this did well, actually, pretty well, much better than I expected it to do. So now, folks, you can put a lip sync here. You can like put a voice or something, and it'll do lip syncing. And yeah, that is it. That was it from this lecture. And you can, by the way, rate it here. So if I like this thing, so I'll put it like 4 stars. Okay. So the AI will learn. So this is called reinforcement learning through human feedback. RLHF. Yeah. So the AI will learn what it did right, what it did wrong, and then it will learn from its own mistakes, like we say for human beings, learning from a mistake and improving. So folks, that was it. Now if you want to download it, you can download it here. Obviously you cannot download it, or you can actually just screen record yourself if you are so desperate to downloading this thing. But folks, as always, this was just an example. You can make it 10 seconds, you can make it more if needed, but you need to go for the pro. You can go for custom presets. Now what do you mean by custom presets? Custom presets would mean a bunch of stuffs, like a drone shot, a close-up portrait, anything like that. That would make sense. We are gonna try that in the next lecture. Thank you very much, and I'll see you there. So my dear students, in this lecture, the things are going to be really simple, really easy, straight to the point, no waste of time. Okay, so we already generated this video from Mr. T and something. Now what we need to do is that we need to lip sync it. You see, here's a button here called lip sync. Okay, you click it, right? And I clicked it, and I got this. And I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be a 5-second video, right? So I wrote something like this, which you can read if you look carefully. And so and I don't know, this is going to be so fun, because after this lecture, a part of US is gonna love me, and another part is gonna hate me for this, and I love both the parts. Okay, so we have like 2 parts here, which is like, these are a bunch of voices that we can use. We obviously can't use that person's voice whose face you see on the screen. So this is a basic voice that I'm using. Obviously you will not be able to use his voice, because I don't think that facility is there yet, but you may be, and you need to like pay a lot of money to like Runway ML, and maybe you need to create a clone of his voice and then perfect it and then pitch it here and then create it, which will be fine. But if you're just interested for basic purposes, I would say just stick to what I'm showing. So this is what he's gonna say, and I'm gonna generate the lip sync. The moment I see generate, my credit is gonna be debited, the credits that I get, and we are gonna get a video where he is gonna speak something. I don't know how this thing is gonna go, but let's see. Let's do it live here with you guys. So I've done that, and within a few seconds it's gonna pop up, and once it pops up, we can see how it goes. Okay, we can see how it goes, and we will be able to see how well this thing pops up. Okay, let's see how it goes. It's taking a little long because it's syncing with the voice. Within a few seconds it'll be fine, and we will be able to see how it works. Come on, my dear students are waiting. I hope, folks, this is not going to buffer a bit too much, but in the meanwhile, let's see how this thing. Oh dude, this is ready. Oh dude, this is ready. Oh no, this is going to be fun now. Now what we got will be pure entertainment. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear or not, because I think my computer's speakers because I'm recording, so they may not work. I'll try to put the mic actually close to the speaker, okay? So the voice is going to buffer a bit, but this is going to be fun, okay? Let's do it. So I've put the mic.
Make America great again, again.
God. Oh God, that was so good.
Again.
Oh dude, this was so good. I hope you heard that, but because that was cool, right? But okay, let's mute it so that we don't get distracted by the voice, and let's see how the features work just for the face, okay, folks, just for educational purposes. Okay, yeah. So I think it messed up with the face. If you look carefully here, it just messed up with the face a bit. But still, if you look from a little far away, you will see that it did fine kind of a work. I wouldn't say great and a lot great, but fine. This was really good, the top one without the voice, which was just like the graphics part, which was cool. Like it's cool for graphics, but when you put the voice, it sucks a bit. So it's a little bad there. So that's okay. So folks, that was it from this video. Completely friendly, compute friendly, and I had no intentions of proving anything, just having fun, just showing you an example so that you can remember this thing and remember this tool long run and use it, have fun. And if you need to make videos like I did in this lecture, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome back again. So as yesterday we were focusing on the Gen 3 model from Runway ML, in this part we will be focusing on the Gen 2 model, I believe, as far as we are concerned. So I hope you liked yesterday's videos, the lecture series. Now you know that I recorded this series in 2 days and not 1 day. Yes, I did that. Fine. So moving on to our Gen 2 model, which is a multi-model generation. There are a lot of features, folks, that we can work here, okay? And as you know, I have 223 credits left, so we can work a lot. So on the left side, we have a text prompt, which we can put here, whatever, like we did yesterday. We can, or in the last lecture, we can here focus on which part we want the camera to move. We can move on the motion brush. I think this is new, actually. The last time I checked it, this wasn't working. This is going to be good, okay? So we are going to try that as well. Then we are going to focus on stylize. What is that? Okay, so what kind of presets we want? We want it for advertising. We want it for films. We want it for like pixels. We want it for a Disney kind of movie. We want it for a marketing film. We want it for a GIF or anything of that sort. Then we have the aspect ratio, which is cool, which is easy as well. We'll focus with 9:16, which is our focus. Then we'll focus on custom presets. There are a bunch of presets. Folks, preset basically means a set of rules that you have defined for the AI model to follow. And you are you are asking the AI model to focus on following that rules only. Okay, like for the prompt as well. Then we have here a bunch of stuffs like resolution, which is fine, which is good. Then we have general motion, how much motion you need in your images. If you want to move it too much, then it should be 10. If you don't want to move it at all, it should be at 1 or 2 something. If you have like basic things, it should be between 4 and 5. I would suggest you to keep it between 4 and 6. If needed, depending on how you need it, you can bring it down to 3 as well sometimes, but then it will be like it'll be like animation thing, not a video thing, right? And then we have okay, you have to go to 5 free previews. Yeah, so let's start with our assets. So let's take an image. I need an image. Obviously I'm not gonna take this. I'm gonna take it from my browser, from my computer. Let's see what I have. So I have an image, folks, of Alan Turing. Let's work with that. Okay, let's work with that. Or you want me to work with Mr. T's image? I don't know. Okay, I will if you're that much into it. So let's work with Alan Turing. So if you don't know who Alan Turing is, this guy is one of the big reasons why AI exists to this day. But he was way too early. Like he was a kind of like matter. If you look, folks, into the deep of AI history, most guys are either computer science guys, or computer science is actually a very recent innovation that has happened like in the last 40 years or something. Because I believe in 40 years ago, there was a computer science degree in or computer science education in even Stanford and Harvard. So this is a really new thing. And as far as, or maybe 50 years, I may be wrong with the timeline, maybe. Most AI innovation that has happened has come from mathematicians, because folks, believe it or not, computers run on numbers, right? And numbers, who better than mathematician can understand numbers? So Alan Turing was a mathematician, he was a computer scientist, he was a bunch of stuffs, and he made a Turing test, which if you're interested, you can search it online. Right, so we want, let's go with minimum prompt, right? Make it cinematic, and 4K. So that's a very basic legit prompt. If we want, we can enhance the prompt text, but I'm not going to do that, folks, because I've done that and it's dumb, right? It's dumb. Camera control, I'm going to leave it as it is. Motion brush, this is something I'm going to use. So which part of the image I want to move? I think it would be his face that I want to move. So I'll put a circle here and I'll put little bit around his suit. So that's the only part that moves. And folks, this is going to be interesting, because if you see, I can zoom this thing up. I've left a few blank space just behind his ear, here, behind his left ear. So let's see how it reacts. If it's really bad, please bear with me, because I'm also bearing for you guys. But I love it. Thank you very much for letting me do this. Okay, so moving on to presets. We don't want presets. We want to keep it simple, sweet, easy. And let's generate an image. Go. So folks, it's going to generate it within, I believe, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. It's going to be ready. And once it's ready, we can see how this thing works. And also, there is one little advice that I want to give you, which was, where is it? Yes, here it is. In the meanwhile, while it's generating, let me give you this advice. If you ever mess up with these ones, which I haven't in this prompt, what you're going to see is, where is it? There you have it. General motion is fixed already. Just a second. Yeah, here we go, folks. So what I was talking about yesterday, here it is. Negative prompt for preview images. This applies to preview images only, not videos. So negative prompt is what? As I've explained yesterday, it is something that you don't want to appear in your image. For example, when you type in Alan Turing cinematic 4K, something kind of like image. What you don't want is fuzzy, hazy, multiple hands, limbs, faces, distorted images and all of that. That would be considered as a negative prompt. If you have taken any of my in-depth prompt engineering courses or whatever, not trying to self-promote, just giving you an example, you will see I have named different kind of prompts. It's like 0-shot prompting, 1-shot prompting, detailed prompting, and you have Socratic prompting, negative prompting, and a bunch of stuffs. Okay, so this, we are ready with Runway ML here. And let's see how this works. Ready, folks? 1, 2, 3, go. So we don't have voice here, obviously. Dude, is it moving? Wait, what the hell happened? 1, 2. Okay, so it did move, but the problem was, it looks like it's a kind of an animated thing rather than doing it. So what, folks, we are going to do here is that we are going to, okay, we'll do it in the next lecture. We'll extend this thing and we'll do that. As for this one, I'll give it a 3-star because it just didn't, it would be improper anatomy. No, not improper anatomy. It would be lack of motion, didn't match prompt, and render quality. So we have sent it. So now the people who are building this stuff will know what was wrong with it. That was it from this one, folks. I know it didn't move a bit, and I'll investigate why. And in the next lecture, we'll move into the more depths of it and make it move like crazy. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. So folks, now it's time to actually test what we have learned in the previous one. And as you know, as you can see, if you look carefully here, it is moving a bit in the face side, but I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but I can see it because obviously I have the big screen in front of me. You guys just need to see it through your phone screen or your desktop screen. But let me zoom this thing. See this part, folks. If you remember, this is where I put that marker, right? To make this thing into motion, to make this thing into video. And it did well, but I would say we need to make it better, right? So let's do it one more time. let's increase, wait a second. Yeah, right. Let's increase the general motion to 8 and generate it one more time. And the moment we generate it one more time, what happens is it'll take 20 credits obviously, which is fine. But I think it will be a much better version of it. Folks, it can be hazy. I'm again giving you this disclaimer. It can be hazy. It can look pathetic. It can look bad. But the only thing that I can tell you from my experience with this tool is that you will get something, an output. Depends on how well you do it, folks. I can do here is that I can put camera control. I can actually make 500 kind of combinations a year. But I won't. You know why? Because I want to make it easy for you guys. So when you're trying at home or at office or anywhere, you can do this thing easily. And if needed, you can mess up with these tools and whatever. The fact, folks, here is that if you have the free version, you can't afford to mess up with this thing a lot, because for every generation, you're burning 20 credits. If you make 5 mistakes or 6 mistakes, which are very common, even the best of the best will make it with AI tools. So no issues. Be open and be free to make mistakes and learn from them. If you make 6-7 mistakes or 5-6 mistakes, you have literally burnt like half of your credits just like that. I wouldn't say it's unnecessary, but just to justify the cost, I would say play a little simple game. And if needed, you can just go for the pro. Let me show you in the meanwhile how much this pro costs you. Okay, so upgrade to the standard access, view all plans and features. Here we go. So the standard one is $12, which is 625 credits a month. So let me do the math for you. 625 credits a month basically means you will need to spend 5 credits per second. That basically if you do the math, it will be like you can make 120 seconds, like 2 minutes of videos for $12, which is per month, by the way, which is I don't know, maybe not that good. Yes, I'm doing the math right. Come on, man. Yeah, the math is right. So yeah, 5 credits per minute. So it's like 120 credits. Actually, not 120 credits. It will be 125 credits, to be frank. Yeah. And then you have $28, you have $76, you have $125. Folks, it's like whatever you need, like depends on you, obviously. And yeah, that was it. And here you have unlimited video generation, but you need to pay like $76 a month. And you'll get all the features. It'll be like $912 under $1,000. And it'll be okay. And then if you're an enterprise or something, then $125, which is pretty much cheap for you guys. And you can actually ask them for discounts and all of that, because they will be happy to do it. Because folks, they're a startup, right? They need money, right? They need revenue sources. Yes, they need a lot of money actually to show it to VCs and whatever, but they need revenue so that they can actually keep pulling in more money from the investors and keep their operations, because they don't make profit, folks. If you think any AI startup is making profit, you are delusional, because they don't, because you can't, because it takes a lot of money to build an AI startup, if you know that. By the way, ChatGPT took $13 or $14 billion to just put that tool into your hand so you can make cat videos and dog videos and search for dog foods. Yeah, whatever. So here we have it, the latest one. And I'll zoom this thing up for you so you can see it. It's not happening, folks. I can see the generation here, but it's not happening. I don't know why. I don't know. Runway ML has some issues with Alan Turing. It's just not happening that much. So if you need, you can do that. Okay, let me do a lip sync for you, just so that to compensate for this thing not happening. I'll do a lip sync, which wasn't planned, so I'm going off script. Dude, I talk a bit. Actually, I talk a lot when I'm on microphone. So let me pick. So as you know, you can pick voices.
Okay, I'm ready to head off on an amazing adventure.
No, I have already used that in the previous one.
James here. Looking forward to reading what you write.
Fine. There you go. Got it. Type any script. AI will make you weak. Oh god, that's a pessimistic line, but I don't know. I'll just go with that. AI will make you weak. So, folks, this is very pessimistic from an instructor who's teaching AI, and that too with an AI tool. But I don't know, folks. I was reading an article this morning from a really reputable magazine, can't name them, online obviously, and they said OpenAI, the ChatGPT parent company, is like 99 point. No, it's very close to AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, and the chances of AI destroying humanity, according to the researcher, according to the person who was giving the interview, he was a former researcher at OpenAI, and he left his job just like a dozen talented people who are already leaving it every single month, whatever. So he said the chances of AI ruining humanity is like 99.99%. And I'm like, this is not the first guy to say that. Like, he's an insider, obviously. He knows a lot, much more than I and you and I do. And the CDO Mira Murthy said, like, the models you guys use are very much similar to we are using in the lab, which is like which is like false, which is like not true at all, because those guys are probably using like GPT 6, maybe 5, at least 6, I believe, and at least 5, if not 6, and we are like with 4, which is also not that cool if you look at it now, folks. I don't know, like, something looks a little off to me from an instructor's perspective, from a human being's perspective, because Google could have made ChatGPT like in 2017. If you don't know, the T in ChatGPT, which is the transformer, it was made by Google, by the way, but they didn't, obviously, because they had to save the advertising revenue, because no one would visit the search engine then, which was like hundreds of billions of dollars. But still, they knew something that OpenAI knows much better, and they are hiding it from us because they know once the box opens, like the secret opens, people are going to be skeptical, and investors, and you know what I'm saying. Just read between the lines. So here is the voice. This worked perfectly, and folks, what I'm intrigued by is that look at this, look at his lips, like this part of his mouth, right? Look at his teeth. This is the part where AI messes the most. I've used like multiple softwares where they just mess this thing up real bad. Even this Runway has messed it up because I'm looking at it from a real close distance. It's literally like inches away from my face. But with that being said, if you guys look at it from a far distance, little bit far distance, it actually looks like Alan Turing is speaking, which is like fine delusion as well. So folks, that was it from this lecture. I think I bored you a lot. I'm sorry about that. This was 5 stars, so I'm going to hit a 5-star with that. Thank you very much. If you want to download this thing, you can just click the 3 dots here. You can download this. You can change the playback speed, whatever. Bye-bye. See you in the next one. Bye. So folks, now it's time to wrap up this part of Runway ML. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked how Alan Turing was saying AI will make you weak, but it isn't the fact. At least for this course, it'll make you stronger and better, so you can work much more at a small amount of time. So folks, that's it from this course. I hope you liked it. There are a bunch of stuff that we can touch here, and when I get access to maybe the pro version, I might actually update this thing as and when needed, just like my other parts of this course. I hope you liked it. A big thanks goes to my student who actually asked me to do this. I am really, really grateful to her. I can't name her right here because, it's not going to be that cool. But I love her from the depth of my heart. I'm grateful that she gave me the suggestion. And I'm grateful to all of you for all the love. Thank you so very much for making me a part of your life, no matter how small or big it may be. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next section. Bye. Hey guys, how you doing? So now, as you can see, we have a picture of actually a geek. This has been generated by Dolly, by the way, just a few seconds ago. And this is a picture of Doll E, and this is a picture of a geek made from Doll E, which shows a geek in library full of millions and millions of books. So folks, the reason why I'm showing you this thing is because in this lecture, we are going to focus on something that's quite interesting and would help you long run. So I have actually got a PDF from a really close companion, and it's called the Stable Diffusion Prompt Book from OpenArt, as you can see on your screen. Folks, what I've done is that actually I have zoomed this thing up to fit my screen, just so I can show you. If you can zoom it up to 140%, it would be quite cool.
Depending on the condition of your eyesight and what suits you best, you can adjust that thing as and when needed. Okay, so this is actually a prompt book which actually shows you the art and science and the texture and how prompts work. So let's begin with this one. So it's a 105-page prompt book. I'm actually going to go through all or maybe most of them one by one. Maybe this is going to be a 2 or 3 part lecture, not to worry on that, but I'll keep it really crisp, simple. And by the way, I'll also give you a link to download this thing so you can also look at it if you want to. So folks, let me just zoom out this thing a bit because maybe it's cutting a bit. Yeah, that's okay. So we have a bunch of stuffs and we are beginning. So it's the pre-phase, which is the first part. Folks, I think 105% of zoom is perfect because it covers the entire thing. So folks, stable diffusion. What is stable diffusion? Folks, I haven't taught stable diffusion yet, but probably I will teach it. Maybe you'll find a section of stable diffusion if you're watching this sometime in 2024. Obviously you are, because I'm recording this in 2024. So if you're watching in the middle of 2024 and the end of 2024, and because this course gets updated every now and then, you will find a section for stable diffusion. Maybe I'm teaching it for half an hour where I teach you how to do that. Folks, stable diffusion is a free text to image software which works just like Dolly and all of that. It has some different capabilities, it has some problems and all of that, but still it's fine. It's a good alternative to Doll-E. So this was the prompt book for stable diffusion. So we have the open art prompt engineering. So folks, prompt engineering is a process of structuring words that can be interpreted and understood by text to image model, as I've already answered that question for you all. So we have a bunch of prompt engineering techniques which we are going to use it. Prompt format. This is, folks, very, very important. As you can see, this entire presentation has been made by AI itself. Okay, so the prompt format is pretty much important. Let me zoom this thing up so as to make it clear for you all. Start by asking a list of questions. Do you want a photo or painting? What's the subject, folks? A person, landscape, what is it? As I've already said, the more specific you are, the better for you. If you ask your friend, hey, bring, I don't know, maybe bring strawberries. So he'll bring you a box of strawberries, maybe 1 strawberry, 10 strawberries, whatever. That's a very generic and vague way of saying something. Yes, it's simple, but it's a very vague way of saying something. But if you say, hey, John, when you're coming out of your house, there's a departmental store or Walmart or 9-11 something, just a 7-Eleven something, just get a box of strawberries, which costs you $5.99, and then give you a change back, and then so the more detailed you are with your prompts, the better, folks. Don't be shy of giving your details, like not your personal details, obviously. The details that you want from the prompt. If you want an image, go detail. If you want an essay or maybe a letter or maybe an email or something, just get in the details. The more detailed you are, the better it is for the AI model to understand your demand and to fulfill it. Then you put the color and the schemes and this and that and everything. What is this example? Okay, so do you want a photo or painting? Then you say painting. What's the subject of the photo? Person, animal, landscape. A golden doodle. Okay, what are the details that can be added? Wearing a suit, wearing a tie. Okay, what kind of lighting? Natural light. Okay, what's the atmosphere or what's the background in the sky? Okay, what's the color scheme with bright colors or with RBG? Folks, RBG stands for red, blue, and green, which is a way of explaining colors. Okay, then we move on to the next one. Folks, here was the painting that was made probably by Stable Diffusion. So this is the painting of a doodle. What was that? Golden doodle wearing a suit, natural light in the sky with bright colors. Okay, so it's fine, folks. As I've already said, Stable Diffusion is not as good as Dolly and all of that, but it's pretty much good. Give me a moment, folks. Let me do an experiment for you guys. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this thing, okay, and I am going to copy this thing. I have my Dolly open right here because I knew this would happen. Or actually, I didn't know, just coincidence. And let's generate an image there if needed. Okay, here we have it. A painting of a cute golden doodle wearing the suit, natural light in the sky with bright colors. Let's see what it puts out. Let's see what it brings out of the model. We have to wait a few seconds to get the prompt, and we may be
Getting closer and closer and closer. And here we have it. Here we go, folks. We have it, and let's compare. Okay, okay. Okay, so this is, folks, pretty good. I don't know, something happened in between, but this is pretty good, folks. This is pretty good. And as I already said, folks, because Dolly is a much better model. That's why they charge you money, folks, because if they're charging you for something, it's because there's a lot of money put behind that model to work, okay? I don't know if you know this fact or not, but ChatGPT takes several $100,000 just to keep itself running every single day, despite of the fact whether someone is using it or not. So we got that prompt, and that was it. Okay, a painting of a cute Dornhunde in the sky wearing. So, folks, different prompts in different AI models can give you different results. If I just take the same prompt that I took right now and put it in Dolly tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, it would come. I can write that on a piece of paper. It would give me a different one. If you do it and you have any text to image model, AI model, or software, or maybe you're using Leonardo or Stable Diffusion, you'll get a complete different output. It just depends. It's actually a bunch of randomness working on in big machines. The order of the words is important, folks. That's a very important thing. A cat sitting on a Martian table. That's the thing. A cat that is sitting on a table on Mars. That's another thing. A cat that is sitting on a table, the table is on Mars, is another great thing. So you need to know exactly what you're talking. Modifiers. So modifiers are words that can change the style, format, or perspective of the image. There are certain magic words or phrases that are proven to boost the quality of the image. Let's take an example of that. For photography, folks, if because I'm not a photographer, probably 99% of my students are aware of photography. So this is what they say. If you take a close-up shot, that will give you another kind of an image. If you take a extreme close-up, that will be another image. It will, if you medium shot, long shot, whatever. Then you have the style, whether you want a Polaroid, monochrome, color splash, whatever. Then you have the subject. What kind of a subject you want? What is the thing that should be focused and what should be blurred in the background? Then you have a lighting, whether it should be soft, ambient, ring light, or sun, or cinematic. Context, indoor, outdoor, night, in the park, studio, in the sky, on heaven, where. Then you have lens, wide ends, teleport. Folks, you do not need to know all of that, but if you just know some of that, like for example, if you say, make an image as if it has been clicked by iPhone X or iPhone 14, or make an image that has been clicked by a Canon camera, or maybe a Sony something, or maybe a GoPro, then that AI model would be forced to work that thing and mold that output in that image. I'll give you an example, just the example that we took here. Let's put it here, and taken in a GoPro. So folks, GoPro is a kind of a camera which a bunch of vloggers and mountaineers use while they are doing their job. It's a very cool kind of a camera, really small, simple, lightweight, and can have great resistance power. So I said, I just put the text that was already there, the prompt, and just added the words taken in a GoPro. Now, I have forced the model, ChatGPT Dolly here, to actually give me the output which has been taken by a GoPro. Now, folks, you'll see the output. Look at that, folks. You saw that one coming? Now compare that thing with the previous one and you'll see. Look at this one. This is completely different from this one. Yes, the background and some may look similar, but this one's pretty better. This one's a lot better than that. Because what did I say? GoPro. So the thing changed completely. And folks, this is what I believe. I believe in doing and teaching at the same time. Next one. We have the photography style, folks. As I've said, it completely depends whether you want Polaroid, tilt shift, product shot, which is good for if you're marketing or launching a product or something, long exposure, whatever. That's a detailed part. Not many of you would use it. I know that. So then you have photography styles. You want portrait, color splash, monochrome, satellite. What kind of an image you actually want from the model? You cannot expect it to write, hey, give me an image of New York and expect it to give a Google Earth or satellite image of New York or Manhattan. No, that's not possible. That's not going to happen. You need to be specific. The more specific you are, the better. Then you have the cameras, as I've already said, lenses, lighting. Lighting is, folks, very important. If you have a neon light, that's a different thing. Natural light, different thing. If you have a vintage thing, that's a different thing. Black and white, different thing. Art mediums. Oh, folks, this one's pretty important, folks. I've used this a bunch of times, and I've burnt my fingers a bunch of times with these things, especially with the models that I try. So whether you want to chalk, whether you want to portrait, whether you want to graffiti, whether you want watercolors, whether you want oil painting, the the moment you change the medium of arts, the more you change, the more your prompt is going to change, and it's going to refine, or maybe not refine sometimes. Whether you want a pencil drawing, whether you want clay, what is that? Clay model of Game of Thrones, okay. Whether you want fabric, what do you actually want? Be specific. Then you have artist. So what kind of thing do you actually want? So you can actually write, hey, actually I'll show you this one actually, just with the dog example as well. In the style of Leo da Vinci. So folks, I've said in the style of Leonardo da Vinci, this will produce something else. Then if I say, hey, in the style of Michelangelo, or maybe in the style of, what's that guy named? Salvatore Dali, or maybe in the style of, this guy, Picasso? Yeah, Picasso. That's complete different thing. So the more specific you are, the better. There you have it, folks. There you have it. I said Da Vinci, because Da Vinci was very famous for his paintings like The Last Supper and bunch of all that. It was a complete different game altogether. Let me zoom this thing up, because I've said my dolly sometimes just keeps blinking on me. So look at this one. You saw this one? These things, the wise men and all these things, the exact Da Vinci kind of painting. Okay. And then you have whether you want landscape, whether you want a portrait, what do you want? Then you have so folks, this exactly comes up to the word thing. If you want to create an image of a 1920s haunted house, you just search online about one of the artists who used to draw in that theme and in that way and in that style. Copy the name, because obviously look at this name. This name is pretty big and pretty difficult to spell and spell correctly, and put it there, and like create a horror image of a house and this and blah 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 blah, so and so and so and yada yada yada, in this artist's style, and that's it. It'll just pop out, and then you keep refining it. Then anime artists, folks. Anime is actually in Japanese cartoon kind of a style, which is very famous as well. So sci-fi artist, photography. What do you exactly want? Whatever you want, the thing is going to give up to you. And folks, this is something I love. Advanced techniques, that is mixing artist style. Partially in the style of Leonardo, partially in the style of Picasso, partially in the style of Da Vinci, partially in the style of Michelangelo. When you mix and blend a bunch of stuffs, these things just pop out so well. You have seen so many TikTok videos of people doing a bunch of stuffs with different artists and different work and joining them together with AI and creating some new masterpieces. That's how it's works done. So folks, yeah, that is probably it from this lecture. I'm going to keep it short, simple, and I'll continue in the next one with the science of prompt engineering. Hey everyone, welcome back again. So folks, we are in the part 2 of the science of prompt engineering, and I believe it's time to begin with our prompting. So just a side note, the most worst part about recording lectures in winters is that you wear so many clothes up that sometimes your clothes just brush against your tools like your computer and all of that, and that creates sounds in the microphone. It doesn't look good, but folks, please excuse me for that. So here is the folks are, then we were in page number 40. So we have illustrations. So folks, what type of illustrations do you consider? Stable diffusion can be used to create any 3D scene or object you can imagine. Folks, this doesn't just goes for stable diffusion, this goes for probably all of the text to AI models. So can you create in origami? Origami is a very, very, very famous, probably if I'm not wrong, Japanese form of art, which is very famous. And when you were a kid, or probably when I was a kid, that was not long ago, for me at least, we did a bunch of origami in our art and craft classes. Then you have the needle felted scene from The Simpsons, highly detailed. Folks, I don't have any idea about this kind of an art, but probably should be good because the name Simpsons is added to it. Then you have 3D illustrations. You want isometric assets, which is
it's kind of a 3D blender. If you are not aware of what Blender is folks, Blender is basically where all these video games are made. If you've ever played a video game in your life, if not, if you've been probably living under a rock, or maybe you're not interested, the or the best example would be this: if you have ever seen Disney images like Cinderella or what is that, Jungle Book, or all that, some part of it's actually a mixture of animation and Blender. So Blender is actually a tool. It's a free tool where you can create those models and create scenes after scenes after scene. You can stitch them all up together and play them. It would look pretty much nice, and it's a 3D version: x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. And I am not an expert in that because it's quite difficult. And then you have some kind of a low poly, and then here we have it, folks. Pixar renders. You remember this kind of a character? These characters are often seen in Disney Pixar movies and the other ones. Then you have more illustration. What kind of illustration you want? Comic, scientific, vector, children's book. What is your demand? Then you want propaganda posters, or you want movie posters, or you want psychedelic art, folks. Psychedelic art is a very big market because a lot of people like that. Then you want caricature. Okay, that's okay. Then you want the splash art. Okay. Then you want stickers. You want fantasy maps. The more you are into it, the more you are focused with your prompts, the better for the AI machine. I'm going to folks show you an example of this one actually. So the image that I showed you here, let's actually remove that image. We've been using it for long. So make an image of a lion king in origami and Pixar version together. Make a lake behind him in the form of splash art. Make it detailed yet classy and trendy, still keeping the art and the soul of the creation. So folks, look at how detailed my prompt was. And this was, folks, a live prompt. I didn't use AI for this. Make an image of Lion King, origami, Pixar. These are two different kinds. Then I said the lake should be in the splash art form, which is the third kind of art. And then I said make it classy and trendy, which are others. So it's basically like a blending a bunch of stuffs and making it in a lab and then presenting it in front of the things. Okay, so I got it. So the reason why it didn't happen was because of this. I wrote here Pixar, and Pixar is actually a copyrighted thing of Disney. So what I can say is that, okay, remove Pixar and add, let's take someone from this one, add what was that, add psychedelic art. Okay, let me copy this thing and let's put it here and add psychedelic art to the prompt. Now it's probably gonna produce it, because maybe, yeah, folks, I know this may sound so dumb because I wasn't trying to do anything with the copyright thing, but still ChatGPT and OpenAI didn't allow me. That's okay, folks, because sometimes even unnecessary restrictions and regulations are needed, because we don't know who's doing what and what they intend to do. So it's better to be a little more strict in the beginning, so we can get lenient as and when time flows. And folks, as you can see, the content policy has been approved and we have an image that is going to be produced now. And folks, again, it didn't allow me to generate the image. I said, now I'm going to ask it, what is wrong with my prompt that you didn't allow me? And now I'm going to ask the model, what is wrong with my prompt? The issue with prompt is not the context but the specific combination you have requested. The elements of origami, splash, and psychedelic are depicted characters and can be challenging to generate while adhering to the content policies for image generation. To successfully generate is helpful to a simpler, non-direct concept. Folks, that is the problem with these AIs. When you put a lot of combinations, they just fall flat on their back. Okay, so do your own thing and give me an art. Folks, sometimes you need to be strict. It's like, do your own thing, give me a damn art. I've asked for art, give it to me. I've paid the subscription for this thing. I want to teach my students, folks. Come on, GPT. Don't embarrass me in front of so many folks. Probably most of my students are new students here. Yeah, don't embarrass me, boy. So yeah, so it's gonna generate this thing, and so folks, sometimes it happens, and I will never cut these things from my post production because I hate those sugar coating and all of that. Folks, look at that. Lion is not there, obviously, because I don't know what happened. Something happened and it didn't. But still, like the image is fine. I wouldn't say 10 on 10, but it's a good looking image, and it took all the things that I said, probably except for one or two. It had splash art. It didn't have pixel, obviously, and it didn't have origami as well. But it gave me a quite a soothing one, and also a river or a lake, whatever I said. So yeah, that's good. Then we move on to character design. Well, now, what kind of a character design you want? Emotions. Simple feeling modifiers are can set the atmosphere of the scene. Now, what kind of emotions you want in your generations? You want a cozy, you want it to be joyful, you want to be energetic, you want to be sympathetic, you want it to be passionate, you want to be depressing. The tone you set in, the emotions you set in would define a bunch of things. You want satisfaction, you want a peaceful, you want hope. What do you want by that? You want depressing, you want grim, regret, suffering, fear, disgust. What do you want? The more you are prompt, folks, the more you are into it, the more you are exact with your thing, exactly pinpoint the thing that you want, the better results you will get. And keep going. If your image your AI model like GPT or DALL-E just did what they did to me right here, do not worry. Just ask them, hey, what's the problem? What's the problem with the image? They'll tell you, and you just then do your own thing. Just don't give up. So then you have the aesthetics. What do you want? Weird core. I don't know what that means. You want acid wave. You want dream core. You want vapor wave. What kind of a texture you want on the image? Okay, you want what is that? Liminal space. You want after hours. You want brutalism. You want post what is that? Apocalyptic. Damn, now you know I can't spell apocalyptic at once. You want what kind of thing you want? Then you have the magic words. Folks, this is really important. Please keep your attention here. Quality words like you want HD, UHD, 4K, 8K, 64K can make a dramatic difference. And I've seen this, folks, a bunch of times. So if I say make it in 8K, I don't know, folks, if GPT allows 8K, but okay, so it doesn't have the thing. Okay, so I'll say just do it in 4K or whatever. It can do 1024 by 1024. So it'll do in 1024 by 1024. If I said do it in 200 by 200 pixels, it'll do that. The more resolution up, the clearer the picture, the more beautiful. The more resolution down, the more fuzzier the picture, because the less pixels are there. And yeah, it's a poor quality image. And it'll generate me a great image here. And as you can see, folks, it's a really detailed image. You cannot specify a lot, but still, it's a really detailed image to look at from a really first viewpoint. Okay, then we have, this is Joan of Arc portrayed by Jennifer Lawrence concept, and this is Joan of Arc portrayed by Jennifer Lawrence, highly detailed. So this was a very basic one, which looked ridiculous. This was a really good prompt, detailed. So it looked not exactly, but quite close. Then this was a Morgan Freeman with 50 staring as 50 Cent, portrait, this lens. This was cinematic for Morgan Freeman. And folks, this is how it goes. The more you do that, the better. Okay, the more focused you are with exactly what you want. Bokeh mode. This is a very important thing, folks, because I think most of my iPhone users, because I don't have an iPhone, I am an Android guy, have this thing called a bokeh mode. Probably Android users have that too. So do you want it in bokeh mode? You want it in portrait? What kind of mode you want it to be in? Resolution is also there. You want sketch or you want a painting? Okay. Then what is the stable diffusion parameters? What kind of a resolution do I want, folks? As I've already saying, 512 by 512 or something else. Then what is this? These are some advanced things you don't need most of. And yeah, so there you have the important tips here. When to use the CFG values. CFG2 creative but not might follow the prompt. CFG 7 or 10 recommended for most prompts, good between. Folks, so there is one thing that I actually encountered here in Leonardo, Leonardo's AI. Probably you'll have a section of Leonardo if you're watching this in 2024. Yeah, I have taught Leonardo in 2023 as well, but you'll have the updated version in 2024 for free. So folks, there's this thing in Leonardo which isn't available in Dolly actually, which actually tells you how exact you want or how powerful your art should be in accordance with your prompt. What I mean by that is this. It's taking, I don't know, 5 million years to load here. Yeah, folks. Here we have it. It just took a little more time than usual. Yeah, we have it, folks. So, folks, I'll actually show you this live here. I wasn't supposed to do it, but I'll do it anyway. Hell. So, this was actually I was trying on something, and this was the thing. So, folks, this is my canvas where I can draw, hey, anything, who, and this is where the output will come out. So there's this button here, folks, this one. Look at this one. Can you see this one? It's called Creativity Strength. The more this button is, and this can only work in Leonardo AI, folks, by the way. The more this is pulled towards the right side, like the more you want it to focus on your prompt, the more creative Leonardo would go, okay? But if somehow you push it there on the left side and the number goes down, the number goes up, the prompt becomes better and better and better. The number goes down, the prompt becomes ridiculous. And you'll see that. Look at that. Look at that. This looks exactly the same way, right? So that was it. And folks, probably that's it from this lecture. And as you already know, seeds words are very important. As you can see, photo of a cute dog holding an umbrella, photo of a cute cat holding an umbrella. Two different stuffs. And that was it. So folks, yeah, that is it. That would probably be helpful, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome back again to the part 3 of our prompt engineering part, which is the science of prompt engineering, I believe, and this is the part 3 of it. So folks, for this time, and this is probably page number 81, as you can see on the bottom, we have, oops, it just flipped on me. Wait a second. Yeah, here we go. So we have something called negative prompt. Now folks, what is a negative prompt? Folks, when you put a prompt like give me an image of a cat, it'll give you an image of a cat. But if you put like a prompt like give me an image of a cat, but now in the negative prompt, do not include 2 cats, 5 heads, 10,000 limbs, fuzzy image, blurry image, all of that. That is a negative prompt. Negative prompt is a prompt that you do not want to be included in the image. So for example, look at this screen here, and then I'll show you my example with Dolly live on this lecture. So this was the first image, portrait photo of Genghis Khan. So it gave you an image of portrait of Genghis Khan, whatever. Then you put the negative prompt, and you can add the negative prompt that you do not want to see, like black and white, monochrome. And it's the same thing, but the same prompt. And you put the same prompt again, and now you will not see the monochrome and the black and white portrait of Genghis Khan. You'll get a different version of it, but not the version that you got in the first part. Let me show you a live example for that. Okay, give me an a comic image of an animal. Now give me a comic image of an animal. The Dolly is gonna, because right now when I'm recording, it's nighttime here in my country, and probably it's morning in most European and American countries. So maybe a lot of people are using Dolly early in the morning. So it'll take a few seconds and it'll load up. Now, folks, you may think what BS am I talking about, like of the things. But folks, if you don't believe me, just do this thing. Or if you've been using Dolly, you will know that during sometimes Dolly would not work that well because of too much load on their servers and so many people searching so many stuffs. So folks, this is an image that I got, and I would be honest, it's a pretty good image with such a plain and simple prompt. Now folks, if you can look properly in the first image, there's a bear there. If you can see on the left side, there's a bear. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy my prompt here to save time. Give me that, and I'll say negative prompt.
You can write the way I am writing, or you can just say, do not include this and this. Do not copy me. If you want, you can, but do not. It's not mandatory to put negative prompt and then colon and do that. Negative prompt, do not include owl and a bear. Go. So now as you can see, there is no owl and no bear at all. Look at these two images and then these two images. So that is how a negative prompt actually works in real life. Next one. Image in and out painting. So sketch to professional art. You can actually give it a drawing or something of your on a paper or something, and it'll create an image out of that. Then you have converting styles. You can what is that? It is possible for you to change the style of an image by editing the prompt. Obviously. Now, if instead of comic I would have said give me a realistic one, it would have given me a realistic one for that sake. Let's back to a PDF. Image to image variation. So folks, image to image variation is a really important part. It is useful for creating a variety of images and getting similar images. Okay, so for example, here's the first image: cherry blossom in an empty park by Thomas Kincaid. Here's the first image. This one's cherry blossom in an empty park by Thomas Kincaid. If you wish to create an image but something isn't quite right for you, then do it again, prompt it again. With this you can see there's a changed layout and the time of the day, but kept the idea of the original image. So folks, if I hadn't I'll give you an example. Let's remove that and let's take this one again. So if I put on the prompt again, give me if folks, do it yourself if you have DALL-E and ChatGPT 4. Just type this thing, copy this thing, give me a comic image of an animal. Do not put anything else, and I swear, I promise you, you will not get the image that I got. Why? Because that is how the AI works. It's just a land of randomness, and we just get amazed. By the way, these images are beautiful for me.